everyone, it's Meredith here with Not Just for Boys, and this is episode 3 of our Scrap Space Glow Up, and this episode is going to feature on my stamps, kind of sprucing up the area of my stamps and putting new stamps away that were piling up for the past few months of purchases, because apparently I was really bad at putting away stamps as I got them. So first I'm going to show you the area in my scrap space that I'm working with real quick. So be prepared to see kind of a mess. That's what I'm going to start with. All right, guys, this is the corner of my scrapbook room where I store my stamps. As you can see, I have a giant mess going on down here in a bin, but we're not focusing on that right now. Right now, I am going to focus on my stamp tower, which goes pretty tall up. It sits on a window seat. I know it's hard to tell, but there's a window seat there where I don't use it as a window seat. I use it as storage. So my stamp tower right here sits on the window seat. And this is my old stamp tower from IKEA that I got years and years ago. But I'll talk about that when we sit back down. But this is the stamp tower that I'm going to be doing things today with in our video. This one right here. I believe I got that at Home Depot, and it perfectly fits 2 of the photo boxes in there, which perfectly fit my stamps. So that's why I really love, I had to put 2 at the very top. That's why I really love this storage tower, is because it fit the photo boxes perfectly. They also don't stick out over the ledge. Okay, so they fit depth-wise and then too wide with not a lot of extra space. And that also fit in the corner of that window seat right there, because I know you can't tell, but the wall behind it is angled. Do you see the wall behind it is angled? So I couldn't turn this thing sideways. I have to put it like at that weird angle sitting on the window seat. So today we're going to go over, as you can see right there in front of my, let's see, right here. That's a pile of stamps that I got at yard sales, scrapbook yard sale. And some of them I bought online. You know, it's just my stamps that I've accumulated over the past few months. I just never put them away. This is a bunch of ephemera that right here, like cards and stuff that I need to put away, but that's tucked off to the side for today. We're not worrying about that today. And there are a few collections that I need to put away in this pile right there too. But right now we're going to focus on all of these stamps that are right here. And I will show you how I organize my stamps. So let's get to work. Okay, so now that you saw that kind of halfway put together area of my stamps, I will tell you that I revamped that whole system about a year ago. I think I did it last January. So I am very pleased with how it came out. It's really easy for me to find stuff in that area now, how I have it organized. But I mentioned earlier when I was showing you that tall IKEA CD holder that I showed you, it was on the far right, and that was my old stamp storage. Back at one point in time, I thought it would be a genius idea to disassemble all of my stamp sets and put them in CD cases. This one is called Stars. I basically got all of the stars out of every single stamp set, whether it was a Christmas stamp set, a back to school stamp set, everything, and I put them all in a case. This might not be my only star one. I might have another star one. I don't know. This was back when my stamp collection was not super large and elaborate, so it was working a little, but not really. I really think I just didn't go for my stamps very much. Once I disassembled all of them from their original sets, there's no going back. Like, I don't even know what these went to. Yeah, I need to go through these and probably just purge a lot. So this is my original stamp organization. This was Ocean, which they're like little sailor kids, and whales and an octopus. So this was like my Ocean Beach one. Anyway, so I have a whole bunch of stamps like that. They are not in my new stamp storage. They are still separated out by theme like that. I do not like it. I wish I would have never done that. If you do that, make sure that you really want to do that before you do that to all of your stamps, because there's lots of different ways to organize stamps. I'm just showing you what my system is. So last January I went and I found, I researched a lot of different things to try to figure this out, and came up with this solution based on the shelving unit that I bought that I showed you, and photo storage boxes, because they were the right width for multiple different size stamps. So this is what I went with. And then I went on Amazon and I bought giant acrylic sheets, and I trimmed them with an X-Acto knife to be my dividers. So these are just thin acrylic sheets. I'll link them in the description just in case, or I'll link them in our Amazon storefront just in case anyone is interested in what I did. I did have to cut them down with an X-Acto knife and a T-square though. Actually, I think I just used a guillotine paper, like a heavy duty guillotine paper cutter, because the acrylic just cut really nice like that. So I have dividers for all of the different themes of stamps that are in each box. And then I liked the photo boxes because it has the little place in the front where you can type. I typed out what was in each one so I could put the topics on the front, so I don't have to flip through all those boxes to see. So this box contains stuff about music, all my boy-ish stamps, games and video games, scrapbooking and photography, and friends. And I am not going to show you all of these stamps because there's just a ton, but I will start. For instance, music. I got this stamp last year. It's the little I love you hand heart, but to me it is Taylor Swift, and my daughter is a huge Swiftie, and I can tell you that I never even filed this stamp away correctly, like the way I would like it. So I'm gonna do that right now really quick on camera too. And that's why I'm calling this class this series the Scrap Space Glow Up, because you know, things weren't organized in the correct way that I like them organized. So this is a small stamp. I'll get to that in just a minute. Let me get to another one. This is a bigger one, and this was already filed away under my boys tag, but I am going to go ahead and actually put it how I permanently would like to keep it. And I keep all of my stamp sets in these clear plastic sleeves and take them out of their packaging. So now this one is ready to put back in here. I have two different sizes of clear plastic sleeves. As you could tell, the close to my heart ones are wider than 4 inches. So I have this little small bag, which you see me use on lots and lots of videos, and then the same bag, just a larger size. I will link those in my Amazon storefront as well. And then for my smaller stamp, I have a couple different size plastic sleeves that are a little more heavy duty and thicker. But they're just for my smaller stamps. Like I don't have them this thick for my larger ones. I will also link these in my Amazon storefront. I think they're like baseball card covers is what they're meant to be. Okay, and I just slip them in there. Okay, so these are the smaller stamps, and these are the medium-sized stamps, and then I've got these two for the larger type of stamps, which is what I had sitting out on that work surface that I showed you in the video, was all kinds of stamps that I have bought over the past few months, most of them at scrapbook yard sales, and I need to organize them, get them in the sleeves, and get them into the bins. So first of all, I take white cardstock, and I like to put white cardstock in these sleeves because it allows me to see the stamp so much better. So I simply cut the white cardstock. Let me tell you what dimensions I cut it to. It's 6.5 inches by 9 inches for the larger envelopes, and for the smaller envelopes, it's 5.5 inches by 7 inches for these smaller envelopes. So I will just go and stuff a bunch of envelopes with some white paper here so that they're all ready for my stamps when I take them out of the packaging, which I will be right back when I get all of these stuffed in envelopes so that there's plenty of them for me to use. Okay, now that I have all my envelopes prepped, I kind of want to divide up my stamps to like what theme I would categorize them as. And I'm going to cut down this backing off the close to my heart stamps. I obviously am not going to do this all on film. but I love getting stamps at yard sales and whatnot. I think I paid like $1 or $2 for each of these stamp sets. So I'm all about getting a good deal, and when there's a good deal, I'll grab a lot. That's why there are so many stamp sets here. I don't typically buy this many stamp sets, you know, that rapidly, but I really love these. So I am going to take them all out, and I'm going to categorize them into the topics that I know that I have in my, oops, someone put these all on upside down. I am going to categorize all of these in the topics that I know that I have in my organization system. So I know I have one that's for like borders, which is these right here. I know I have one for like hexagons and circles. It's like random shapes. So I will just kind of categorize these all so that when I do get them put together, I can just drop them in all together in their space and move on. So a lot of this is going to be some busy work here, getting these all organized, especially since these were previously used. Like all of those stamps were upside down back on the thing, so I had to straighten them out. So I will go off camera and finish doing this to all of these stamps, and I will be right back. All right, guys, I've got multiple piles here that I'm ready to do, and okay. So I didn't take the packaging off this one. Sorry for the crinkling. Oh, I missed this one. Okay, so to me, this stamp right here, I know it's not Disney themed, but to me, that's what I would do. That's what I would use this stamp for. So it says, wish upon a star, leave a little sparkle wherever you go, magic, to the birthday princess. I can cut out the to the birthday part and just leave the princess. So I'm gonna put this with my Disney and theme park theme. And I do get rid of all, this one to me is summer since it's pinwheels, and it fits in these large ones since it's so wide. So summer. This one is from Hip Kit, also summer. Again, I throw the packaging away. This is why I never know on my videos where my old stamps come from, because this is what I do. I throw the packaging away. Okay, all of these are dad or boy or masculine, so they're gonna go in my masculine little divider. And I will do that for all of these stamps. And if this was not something that I already had done a year ago, this would be taking me a real long time right now. But since I mainly organized this a year ago, I just need to go in and spruce it up right now. I did realize that when I organized this a year ago, I did not put the paper in every little bag like this. So I think I'm going to go, while I'm doing my scrap space glow up, I'm going to go in, again, I'm getting rid of this packaging. I'm going to go in and put paper behind all of the bags of stamps that are missing it. I think I just must have gotten too overwhelmed, and it was just such a large task last January that I just started sliding the stamps in the envelopes instead of putting the paper in there with them. And I'm not overwhelmed by that anymore. And I obviously had every intention of going back and adding the piece of paper. So I think I will do that now. And honestly, guys, my stamps that I make for Not Just for Boys, I usually keep them in a whole separate place because I try to go for these when I'm making process videos rather than going for random stamps. So these two, I'm even going to leave them in there with the package so that I just don't forget that they were Not Just for Boys. And I'm going to put these with my Not Just for Boys stamps, which is a different little storage basket than the one that I showed you in the video. But we don't have, you know, hundreds of stamps, so it's not a big thing. It's just a little basket I have of just Not Just for Boys so that I can easily do process videos with it. Okay, guys, this is my problem. I think I'm supposed to put these, this is Stampin' Up. I think I'm supposed to put them down on this. I don't I don't really understand what I'm supposed to do here. I think I need to read the directions, how you're supposed to use this stamp set and how you're supposed to put the stamps. I feel like it has something to do with this right here. I think I need to go research that because this just doesn't show me what they look like very well, even laying on white paper. So I think I need to go do a little research. I might put this image in here with this stamp set just for ease, because yeah, I think I might just store these with the graphic. I wish it wasn't upside down, but I think it's upside down because if you keep them in the case that it comes in, they will read upside down in there. So I am just going to simply cut out this. I know I'm probably making some of you cringe that I am cutting apart packaging and throwing away packaging for stamps, because I am absolutely certain that there's many of you that like to keep everything in its original packaging, but I am just not that girl. I would never use it if everything was just like mismatched and different sizes, and it's just, to me, this is a lot easier for my brain to handle. So I am going to keep these because I think I'm going to keep them for a little bit during our Scrap Space Glow Up series in case I need to use them for anything that I'm organizing in the next few months. Yeah, so let me at least get these boy ones I can put in here because I have my box that was boy and masculine. So let me just show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, so the second tab says boys, so they'll go behind it. So I will put the tall one in the very back. Yeah, like I didn't even add paper to this. I don't know what I was doing, or I think it was earlier in this video. Is this the same stamp set? No. So the tall ones will go in the back. And then the shorter stamp sets, the two masculine shorter ones, go in the front. And I don't have this like sub themed in here with boys. Like, it's just, if I want a masculine looking stamp, I don't mind that I have to take out this whole little section and look for it. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the rest of my boxes and add the papers to the back of them, and I will get these back distributed in the correct theme boxes in the areas that they go. And I will, maybe I'll show you a quick little clip of my shelf after all of that is done, just so you could see like the before and after. For the printable this week, there'll be a link in the description of this video to the printable. I'm not sure what all I'm going to put in that printable. Maybe I will write down what categories I keep my stamps in, just to kind of give you a brainstorming idea of where to start. I have a lot of categories because I have a lot of stamps, but if you don't have a lot of stamps, maybe you could just categorize them like summer, spring, fall, winter, and most of your stamps might fit in just those 4 categories or whatever. But I will list out what categories I use just to give you a jumping off point, or maybe you have a lot of stamps in one of those categories that you didn't think about. And like I said, there's so many different ways to organize stamps. This is just the way I do it. So whatever way you organize your stamps, your challenge is to go spruce up that area, make sure everything's in order, you know, make sure that it looks nice, make sure everything's put back that might have been sitting out in your room. Like I had that little pile sitting out in my room. So I will be right back to show you a quick little clip of my finished shelf after I gave it a little glow up.
All right, guys, I got all of my papers and everything back in here, and everything is all organized. You can see I cleaned up the little bit of the junk that was sitting on the bottom. I've still got all this. We will work on that another week. And there's still stuff on my floor, which again, we will work on another week. But at least my stamps are all organized. Everything is put away that I've bought recently, and it's all in, there are papers behind every single stamp. So it looks nice. So thank you guys so much for watching today, and don't forget to clean off your desk or your work surface, because I think I mentioned last week that is my goal every single week, is to reset my work surface as well. Okay, bye-bye.